So next we have good old Sam Smith. It's funny because we can see him right there.
Yeah, working out behind us here.
Yeah, he's training us right now. So we have Sam
Hopefully
Smith.
it's not too loud.
Sam Smith giving us max wattage on the assault bike.
Yes, we call this, we call it OPEX gain.
Yeah.
Just so we can clarify language here, because people know gain is resistance. Gain in its classification would be just using up stored energy. So like you got this in a fresh rested position, get rid of everything you got stored in you in the shortest amount of time. So that is used in resistance training, but for energy system training, we call it gain. For those who are coaches in CCP, you may see this as alactic testing, really, or kind of looking at an alactic way of looking at things.
And thinking about progression, this is where you would start when getting into, like if you built out that training program to test lactic capacity or lactic threshold, it would start with this type of work, and then it would go into lactic power, and then we'd go into lactic endurance, and then we'd test lactic threshold.
Yes, yeah. So start really fast and short, which is what you're going to see Sam doing, and then in training you go a little longer, and so the pace is slower, and then you go a little longer and the pace is slower, and then eventually you get to the stuff that you saw.
The weird thing is, as it gets slower and longer, it fucking hurts more. It hurts more.
It does.
As you extend it out.
Yeah. So on gain here, what we're looking for is the opportunity with some kind of modality that people can express high turnover, high, fast, powerful contractions that is safe, that is doable across the board for a lot of people, and that can be attempted. It doesn't mean it can be expressed, but it can be attempted. And so what we ask people to do with fairly good strength, good proficiency on the bike, and a knowledge of what they're doing here is to go as hard as possible with a little ramp up for as long as they can, and then just try to look on the screen. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to try to look on the screen and kind of get
try to gauge
peak,
where, So as soon as those watts start to do this, you stop and you're like, okay, that highest number, that was my max wattage, and usually we see 8 to 12 seconds being that time frame of someone hitting that max wattage.
Yeah. For those more powerful, they're there by 8 seconds. For me, I'm around the 12 second. It used to be like range. 7 or 8. Now it's
all right, let's watch Sam get after this.
And it might be good to watch this puppy over and over.
And we don't know his score.
Oh.
We don't know his score. You and I right now.
Oh, okay.
The OPEX marketers know his score, but we don't know his score. So.
I like 10 times body weight in pounds as things people can shoot for.
So for Sam,
that's not like
for Sam that'd
you're
be
not
like
out of the club if you don't get that.
Yeah,
but
that'd be 2,100 watts about for Sam, or 2,050, somewhere around there.
Yep.
And on the new assault bikes, we can now go over 1999. So this makes sense now. We can now use this. All right, let's see.
I'll tell you though by listening, I'll give you an idea. Ooh, I like that. Look at the nice
whoa,
setup.
Whoa.
That's a nice
whoa,
setup.
Sam.
Look at that. Yeah, buddy.
That's pretty good power.
I'm gonna go 17.
I was gonna say 1650 to 1750 on that.
Yeah.
But the good thing, he's.
I didn't say, but he really revved up for that. That was good.
His hair looks good still. Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Watch his face, though.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, he put some good effort into that.
Yep. Yeah, and this was immediately after he crushed a poke bowl as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had some really good stored.
Super. Did
stored
we watch
energy in there?
Did we watch the video for a couple minutes after? He was okay. Looks pretty calm.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, in a test like this, it's so low barrier. It's like. You can surprise someone with this and it'd be okay. Like they'd be fine. They'd be like, okay, let me mentally get there. But you roll, and before you feel anything, you're done.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So that's a great point of saying, well, what's the energy that's used and what's the dose response from that? So why if Sam did the 60-second thing after the poke bowl, there's a risk involved of throwing up, right?
Huge risk.
There is, but the question should remain, well, why, right? Because everyone just thinks, well, it's all hard work, so why is it any different? Is that the substrates needed to do the 60 seconds requires a tremendous amount of blood and a big metabolic process. And that's the difference in this here. So this here, just think of it, it's just charge. It's how much can you charge the battery, right? It's like make the electricity and every connection between your brain and spinal cord and nerve and muscle just get like really excited, and then just call it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's why anyone could have a steak and potatoes and just go in and jam on this.
We used to use this one, gosh, years and years ago, just to monitor someone's readiness when they came into the gym. So we'd do a grip test along with a max wattage on the assault bike. And usually what we saw is if someone dropped 10+% in max wattage, their readiness was not there. And if they had tough work to do for that day, maybe they should not do it, do some easy work, or go about it at a lower effort than what was intended. So
I love that. Great auto-regulation and a true test, as opposed to like getting up to 85% of your back squat 1RM and then going, oh geez, now I gotta change things. You can get insight from those things. I mean, I don't know if you remember back in the early days too of competition, we used to try to come up with other variables that would work for athletes, right? Like double under skill capability, and when they're warm-ups, did the bar feel like hard on their hands? You know, like as soon as they took the 45-pound bar and started moving it, was it like snappy and they were in control? You know, but I love the rev up one. That was always so good.
Yeah, we had a series of these things. It was the grip testing. It was a seated box jump. They were just super low barrier things where someone is going to realize, like, I don't have that pop today.
And that's good.
Yeah,
just back off a tiny bit, change things up, but that's the key, is in the training variable to be able to manage that. That's the key point for coaching.
You got to be in person to do that effectively, because if you just have, you know, one of your clients, if you're like blindly go in and do a seated box jump and let me know how you feel, they're gonna be fucking head cases, like, I don't know what to do. Should I shut it down? Should I do this? So
I don't know.
It's helpful to have a coach next to you, and it's like, hey, this is what I saw. I want to confirm this. Did you feel these things? And it's like, yeah, it's okay. Let's pivot here based on what we had to do. And obviously, we're talking about people that are like, you know, getting after it, and they're, you know, pushing physical capabilities in the gym.
In each session, or a bunch of the sessions during the week, just to add in some color here to where this fits into the entirety. And so this one here is a good test of that initial starting point. And the reason why this is an important test to start it there is that what you saw Jacob do is 60 seconds, which is a different area, right? And what you saw Amanda do and what you'll see others do is, again, on a different area, right? So it does eloquently lay out our language of gain, pain, and sustain, and this is definitely a gain test. Now, the reason why this is important is that you can indirectly determine like where you sit on your strengths and weaknesses of each one. You know, that's the cool thing I always found about the concept of mixed modal and balanced fitness is that you could really try to round out people's capabilities of all three of those. And that's why I love this test, because there's a number of people, I would say, in my background of strength and conditioning specifically, that were robust here, but that sucked at the other two areas. And so then you can bring in the philosophical questions of, do they need to get better in the other areas? Is it not balanced fitness that they don't try to achieve that? So anyways, this is a cool one for that.
Yeah, if we brought an assault bike to ASU and we went into the football strength and conditioning facility and we went into the football strength and conditioning facility, we would see a lot of very impressive scores here.
For sure.
Based on
for gain and pain.
Yes. Yeah. But then we throw
absolutely and relatively.
Then we throw what we're going to talk about next in the 5K row. We throw that, and it's like it might be a different story. But to your point, it's like, do you have to round that off for those guys?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have
philosophically, it's always good to, like I say, stay in your office with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it in your head. It's a cool philosophical thought, but it has to have clinical practice and importance.
Last question I have: if Sam came at 5 times body weight here, what would you tell him to do?
Say that again.
If his score was 5 times body weight and not even close to 10, so let's just say he has no power.
Get stronger.
Just get stronger outside of, like, you're not using this assault bike to get stronger. Go back squat, go deadlift.
Yeah, got to do the big patterns, the big movements, gain in absolute and relative strength, and then come back and try it again.